Welcome back on the show. It's still Good Morning Abuja, and we're having a wonderful time so far. And straight to our interview segment where we have in the studio none other but Eric Skuku. Deborah,
Yes,
is Eric Skuku in the studio. It's a pleasure having you, sir.
thanks for having me.
Yes.
You're welcome to the program.
Yes, Eric Skuku, as some of you will know, is an environmental enthusiast. Is somebody who is so concerned about the climate, and the climate is something that we all must care for because it's something that is caring for us already. Unfortunately, there are issues with climate, and we need to voice out certain concerns as well as drum up support and actions that would see to better care for the climate. Uh, that is where you are a specialist. You have devoted yourself to bringing advocacy about climate change.
Well, climate change is very simple. The variations, okay, in occurrences of weather, the differences before pre-industrialization. That is the grammatical definition. Okay. Uh, my economical definition of climate change, the effects, simply put, that is brought about due to changes of weather, the effects that we are feeling today. Basically, that's what climate change is all about.
Now that we are here to discuss about the effects, and I know that it's what your organization uh, is representing, is doing already. Now, this is an avenue to talk to us. What is your organization doing to ensure we eradicate, if possible, if we cannot bring it down to the barest minimum, to eradicate the effects of climate change in our environment?
Okay, EVASIS is the acronym Initiative Eradication of Violence and Social Ills.
Okay.
Basically, we work with governmental organizations that are in charge of environmental issues to put in place strategies, mechanisms, so that people will be aware and are able to adapt to the causes of climate change. That's basically what we do. And our main focus, we work with young people.
Okay. Now, your organization tries to battle social ills, and it is generally perceived that the perpetrators of social ills are young people. Now, as an advocate, advocating for better climate conditions and better treatment of the climate, how do you see the role of young people in this?
Well, it's very simple. Creating awareness and education. Before now, I did a project, may humble soul rest in peace. I work with the late uh, Professor Dora Akunyili.
Akunyeli, yes.
We design good people, great nation.
Nation. That slogan.
We've been doing this kind of campaigns for a very long time. Do you understand? So what we basically do is we engage people. We engage people who are in positions to cause effects, to cause changes. Be it the policymakers, be it the young children on the street, the young adults, you understand, whose lives have been impacted by climate change. Okay?
Yes.
Now you talked about interfacing with the policy makers. Now, this one wants you to talk to us. How has this policy makers helped your organization that is in the forefront of fighting this climate change? How well have they actively been involved in helping you to carry out your assignment?
Well, the reception has been good so far.
Okay.
We feel they are actually doing a good work already, but there's still room for improvement.
Improvement.
I'm in conversation with the DG Nigeria Climate Change, Nigeria Council on Nigeria, Climate Change. Do you understand? The very Dr. Salisu. And with his track record over the past, we believe that the new office, it's not up to a year he occupied the office, you understand, okay? And it's not the past government actually enacted this law, this climate change programs, you understand, in Nigeria. Almost everything is new, do you understand? So we are actually working with them to come up with solutions. Do you understand that? And not just them alone, okay? Right now, there's something we are doing. We are talking to senators. We want them to come up with legislation, bills. Do you understand, President? They should enact this thing. They should make it a law. So that's what we're actually doing right now. We are still engaging them. And so far, the responses have not been bad. We actually expect that with time, we'll come up with some very good things.
Okay. Let's take this climate change issue to the global scene. Sometime last month or so, or sometime back very recently, there was this convergence of world leaders still discussing climate change. But then it looks like while many people argue that the conversations are good, pledges are being made, uh, efforts are even being put in place, it seems like there's a double speak because some people are still going behind to vote money for the exploration of more fossil fuel, especially in the North Sea. And so it brings to focus something that our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said when he said on the question of climate change, uh, you have to pay us to not uh, spoil our own climate, something like that. You understand? So these conversations, is it true that there are some of these major players that will be speaking on climate
Yes,
change?
very, very right. Uh, Let me pick from the North Sea, for example.
Okay.
Before Boris Johnson left office, okay, there were pledges. I'm using the United Kingdom, for example. There were pledges that were made, do you understand, to reduce uh, carbon footprints. The exploration of fossil fuels supposed to come so low. Well, he left. The new prime minister does not agree. Okay, they are giving so much concession to actually explore more fossil fuels. Okay, in the North Sea. The UK right now is actually ready to lose its credibility as a climate leader. Do you understand what I'm saying? The oil companies are saying that they are not in the business of ice cream. They are not in the business to make everybody happy. There are double standards. There's some hypocrisy there. Do you understand? Well, to actually balance these things, we need to actually think about um, security, energy security. Okay, we don't have in place the green energy, okay, that will take care of this energy security. We expect them to actually come up with solutions and gradually, gradually, okay, to actually reduce these things, okay. But they want to make money.
Of
We're
course.
talking about large profits, all right.
Billions of
It's actually
dollars.
very difficult to go against these things, all right. Their money are needed, okay. We want to actually question in Nigeria, for example, the NNPC Limited. Okay, what are they actually doing to actually reduce carbon footprint? They talk about reducing these things. What are in place? We want to know. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Uh, the funds coming into Nigeria, I'm told that because Nigeria is not doing enough to actually curb these things, okay? So Nigeria is not receiving enough fuel. I mean, enough of these
Funds.
funds. Do
Okay.
you get present? So at the end, those who are actually at the receiving end of this climate change are actually almost benefiting nothing. Do you get better? So there's some hypocrisy there, but you should know they are in this business to make money. But how do we balance it?
Let's go on this short break. When we come back on the program, we would be exploring solutions to climate change issues, especially here in our dear country, Nigeria. Stay with us.
Welcome back from the break, and it's good to know you are still with us on the program Good Morning Abuja. And we have been discussing about the effects of climate change on our environment. And Eric Kuku is still with us here in the studio. Yes, thank you so much. You've been responding well to some of our questions. Now we are coming back to solutions. From the international scene to our very environment here, climate change is everywhere. Talking about Niger Delta. Now let's focus on the solution going forward.
It's very simple. Aside the government, there are individuals, there are organizations that have actually been preferring solutions. There's a lot of research that has been doing on this. We are asking the government to work with these people, with these different organizations. They should listen to them, okay? Because before you propose solutions to anything, there must be research. These are the things we usually lack. We jump into conclusions, then we take up acts that at the end of the day they are not sustainable. Okay, so there are phases. Our recommendation is government should look for short-term plan and the long-term plan. These things are there. Okay, climate change problems didn't start today. It wasn't yesterday. It's been long. Okay, and there are blueprints to actually tackle these things. Okay, we want the government, we want the NGOs to engage people, you get, so that we'll sit down and see which of these solutions are actually sustainable. We're asking that there should be a watchdog. Okay, there should be organizations that actually enforces these things. Recently in California, my own very governor, I love this man so much. After he survived the recall, okay, Gavin Newsom, okay, he's suing these companies.
Okay.
We want to know, okay, your output. We want to know what are you doing to actually help to reduce these emissions. We should be doing the same thing here. All right. Now, I'm from Bayelsa. In my neighborhood, the oil companies are actually taking care of some of these youths whose lifestyle has changed because of uh, oil productions in these communities. It shouldn't just be about them. Okay, climate change problems are airborne. People in Kaduna, Gombe, Yobe, Nasarawa, Bauchi are actually at the receiving end too. They produce these oils from there, they bring them here, and we suffer the effects of it too. Okay? What we are doing, we are trying to call their attention. Right now, we are having peaceful dialogues. We want to see how they actually respond. A time will come, we are going to take radical approach.
We don't pray for such a time.
No, it's happening in other places.
Yes.
This segment is getting very, very interesting.
Yeah.
We need to go at
Unfortunately,
this point.
yes,
There's no
we've
time.
run out
So
of time.
I have one more question. How have they helping you to reduce the impact of this climate change? Before we go, at least you can chip in that one.
Okay. As I speak with you right now, my organization is actually organizing a musical festival within the 170 universities in Nigeria.
Wow.
And the theme of the musical competition is climate change. Okay? We try to use young people. We want to make them leaders of climate change. Guterres, the United Nations Secretary General, said something. The elderly people have failed the young ones. So now it's now left for the young ones to actually take these things, take the mantle and move it forward. So it's more, like I said, education and awareness. We are creating these things. And we have over 6 million youth under our umbrella. Do you understand? Who are engaged in all sort of activities. With time, I hope when I come here next time, I will elaborate more on what we are really doing and what we have achieved so far.
Oh, wonderful. And kudos to you and your team, your initiative. And kudos to all the young people who are out there making impact and contributing to the restoration of our climate and environment. There's a role for you to play. All you need to do is find it and make impact. Well, that's it. Unfortunately, we are running out of time. But before we go, we have to thank our guest,
Yeah.
Eric Skuku. It's always a pleasure speaking with you. Your passion for keeping our youth positively engaged is quite commendable. And your advocacy for our dear climate is something that is also worthy of mention. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
We do
Deborah?
really appreciate your time with us this morning on the
Now we'll go on a short break. When we come back, Good Morning Abuja, the program continues.